Hey beautiful ladies, namaste. Happy New Year. So apologies for being a few minutes late. I was in the shower, as you can see, probably. Just washed my hair and yeah, happy to report that after losing like over half my hair with COVID, it's beginning to grow back finally. So that feels good. So super welcome. Feels good to say hello into the group. I've not been live for a while. There's been a lot going on in my life and it's all perfect. It's all a perfect part of exactly how things should be, and it's been a lot. So yeah, before I sort of launch, hiya, welcome. Before I launch into what I'd like to share today, I just want to take a moment. To get still with myself and with you, whether you're watching live or you're going to be watching this back, and just take a moment to close your eyes, to take some deeper breaths. And to just notice everything that's alive in your body at this moment. Just taking some more deeper breaths, giving yourself an opportunity to arrive, to land, to notice, and to be present with yourself and with me for this little sharing. Hi, beautiful. Yeah, so I just want to stay in that still place for a few moments longer, just giving our energies time to arrive, feeling the ground or the space beneath you, whatever you're sitting upon. Notice what's going on, thoughts and energies and emotions, and it's all welcome. I also just want to acknowledge the year that we've just stepped out of. You know, we've just stepped through the portal from 2021, and I can literally feel the energy of that year at my back. So keeping your eyes closed, just do that for yourself now and feel, tuning in to the year that has gone, a chapter that is closed. It is behind you. It is gone. It is past. It is at your back. And that door has closed, and you've now stepped into 2022. And there's this sense that we're still in this liminal space, this bridge from one year to the next year. There is a shifting, and of course today is also, and I didn't know this, although I launched my Living Shakti Awake today. Today is the new moon in Capricorn, which is all about focused intention and manifestation. And I didn't know that, but I felt the energy of that new moon immediately upon waking up today, and it's driven my actions and my energy. So just take a moment to feel into that for yourself. Where is your energy right now? What are you feeling? What is alive? How does it feel to you, for you to be at this, stepping through this liminal space from one year to the next, this new moon, this Capricorn new moon, this opening into the unknown of what is going to unfold for us in 2022. I really like the numerology of that year. And so let me just say, again, nothing is planned, I'm just speaking as it comes. A blessing for all of us as we step into this year, you know, feeling the unknown before us, feeling the past at our backs, calling in our ancestors and our guides, angels, goddesses, gods, deities, higher powers, our higher self, calling all of these to be present with us. Because, you know, we're not alone, we're not journeying alone, even though it sometimes feels like that. Just gathering our allies, gathering our energy, being present here now. And letting ourselves be blessed, letting ourselves be held in the energy of love and light and protection. May we walk each step of this year in knowing that we are always connected to our divinity and to our allies in seen and unseen realms. May we walk each step of this year remembering our divinity, remembering the love in our hearts, remembering our capacity for presence and stillness. May we embody all that we are here to be at our highest and greatest. And may we welcome and embrace all aspects of ourselves. From the highest to the lowest, the darkest to the brightest, may we welcome every single part of ourselves in, back to our hearts, back to source consciousness. Continually integrating, continually evolving, continually growing, expanding, flowing with our cycles, opening and closing, rising and falling, as is part of our natural evolutionary spiral, and yet never losing that sense of connection with our true earth, with our true home, with our true nature. And even when we do forget, forgiving ourselves. May we know the blessing and the nurturance of community, of family, of friendship, of partnership, of the highest resonance, of authenticity, of unconditional love. May we feel supported. May we offer our support as we are able to. And may we continue to recognize who and what we truly are and what we are really here for at this monumental time in human history. And so it is. So Happy New Year. Happy New Year. So yes, living Shakti awake is what I want to speak to you about today. It's going to be the main focus of all my offerings, my work, sacred service. I want to switch that. I'm not going to call it work anymore. I want to call it sacred service for this year. And you know, there's an important message here as well, which is inviting you to step up. Because even if you're not going to join the program, you know, it's not the message is bigger than that. So stay and listen, even if that particular part of it doesn't resonate for you. What I'm going to say will call you to something more. So living Shakti awake, bringing Tantra to life, is what I'm called to bring through at this time. It's been a body of work that's been sitting on the back burner for a while, for several years, and now is the time to bring it through. So, you know, I've been teaching embodied awareness awakening for women for 18 years now, and with a particular focus on Tantra and sexual and spiritual awakening for about 10. And of course, in that time, I've been developing, I've been growing, I've been evolving, I've been deepening in my embodiment of what Tantra truly is and what that means for me and what it is to stand in the world as a sexual, spiritual woman waking up and yet being faced with all the everyday challenges of life. I'm a single mum. I've been a single mum for I can never think in years when I'm speaking, since 2006. How long is that? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. That's 16 years. I've been a single mum for 16 years. You know, I've got an elderly father who really needs a lot of care right now. My mum died in 2020. So I'm navigating these things, you know, I'm navigating the reality of life every day, and I'm called to bring what I'm teaching, what I'm speaking about through in integrity, right? Because I couldn't be sitting here talking about this stuff and writing about this stuff if I weren't living it. That would be so inauthentic, and that's not what I'm about. You know, I know a lot of Tantra teachers, or I know most of the Tantra teachers in the world, and I always had this vision for myself that I would be living that tantric lifestyle where I'm traveling around the world, I'm running tantric workshops with my beloved in all these beautiful places like Bali and India and Thailand. Mexico now is another beautiful place that everyone's going to. You know, my dream is to live that tantric lifestyle that I see so many of my peers doing. But that's not my reality right now. Right now, and for the last 16 years, I've been called to stay in a place that I don't particularly resonate with geographically. Stay here to parent my children, which of course I totally am devoted to. And then to be there to care for my elderly parents. So I'm not living that tantric jet set lifestyle. I'm very much faced with the nitty-gritty of the everyday of life, of parenting, of relating, of nurturing, of running a business while being a single mom, while running a household, all of those very practical things. And so, you know, sometimes it does get on my nerves. Sometimes, you know, I wish to escape. But the reality is, this is just as tantric as running workshops in a beautiful tropical paradise in Costa Rica or Bali or Koh Phangan or wherever. And in fact, you know, the true essence of Tantra, as I understand it, is to awaken, to self-realize through the full immersion in life, in all its messiness. Like my hair's messy right now, right? In all its messiness, in all its chaos, in all its pain and suffering, in all its darkness, as much as in all the ecstasy and joy and beauty and bliss that is also available to us. So there's nothing is left out. And you know what I see in the spiritual world, it's changing, but still there is this accent on the ecstasy. And you know, I've been a part of that myself because well, two reasons why. That ecstasy comes very easily to me. It comes very naturally to me through the body. You know, anything where it's about embodied ecstasy, it's easy and effortless for me to go there and to open and deepen into that. So that's how I've gotten into teaching that, right? And you know, the accent can be put very much on that to the detriment of including what happens when our shit comes up, which when you do any tantric practice, it is going to. What happens when we get triggered? What happens when we're in a relationship with someone and all our wounding and trauma comes up? Because it's going to. You can talk, I can talk very eloquently about the bliss and the joy and the beauty of Tantra as I'm eye gazing, or as I'm self-pleasuring, or as I'm doing my pranayama practice, right? That's easy. What happens when, as I'll give you a concrete example, I have to go and care for my dad, who I experienced as abusive when I was a teenager, and now I'm having to care for him? What happens then? How does all this spiritual practice, all this embodiment that I have spent years training in and deepening in, how does it then move through me? How do I then show up? Right? That's what I feel is important. And at this time, historically, like the world, it's a buzzword, but it's true. I mean, if you're not aware of it, then you're in the wrong group. The world is awakening, and all the old structures are crumbling and coming down. that, you know, the patriarchy is a part of that. And the work that I'm doing, that I have been doing for all these years, that you as well are doing and moving through, is about embodying the awakening feminine. As the patriarchy dies off, so the awakening feminine has been rising and rising and rising. I'm here to embody her. You are too. We have to do this through the body. It's not an intellectual exercise, right? So we are at the very forefront, we're at the very cusp of a complete revolution in existence, in the way humankind is going to be living, in the way every structure is going to be falling away and will need to be recreated. So that is why things are very chaotic at the moment, and have been over the last 2 years, and will continue to be, although I'm not here to make any forecasts, right? Of course, I am both feeling and sensing what's going on and researching what's going on. So I know that there's going to be even more change and chaos and revolution, right? In very real terms going on in the world. So this is what, in a way, this is what I've been waiting for. That's what we've been waiting for. Like, why do all this spiritual work, all this inner work? You know, now is the time when it's really coming to bear. How do we respond when everything around us is falling to pieces? How do we respond when people that we know are going into crisis? How do we respond when our own emotions get triggered? Because of course they do. When our own fears and wounds get triggered, because of course they're going to be. How do we respond? Because our response is going to determine the future that we live in and that our children and our children's children experience. We're right here, right now, at this crucial moment, with a choice and with a huge opportunity to build life again from the ground up. So it's up to us. There isn't a leader out there who's going to take you forward and do it for you. They don't exist. We are the leaders. It's us. There's nobody else. Look at what's going on in the public sphere. Do you want those guys to be your leaders? I don't, right? So I kind of think, have I gone off the point? Well, I haven't. No, because what I'm speaking to is this choice point, this really powerful moment that we're in, where it's up to us to say, okay, I'm going to show up. I'm going to show up for myself, for my family, for my children, for my community, for the planet, for humanity. And this is why it's about living Shakti awake. Of course, if we do that from within the same consciousness, if we do that from within the same structures and principles, if we do that from within the same beliefs that have created the mess that world is in now, we're just going to recreate the same. But all of you here, all of you in this group, all of you who follow me, you're all spiritual seekers. You all have a practice already. You're here to wake up. You're awakening. You're awake. We're all on this path, right? So you already have that in place. And without that, we're just going to recreate the same. So that's why it's fundamental that we bring our spiritual practice to life. Bringing Tantra to life. Tantra is a path of self-realization, the recognition of God consciousness, right? And great, let's go meditate, let's do tantric practice, let's self-realize, let's open our third eye, let's raise our energy to the crown. Wonderful. Let's have multiple orgasms, hooray, and let's bring that to life. So Tantra is about marrying above and below, masculine and feminine, darkness and light, heaven and earth. Let's bring heaven into earth through our dedicated, devoted spiritual practice, yes. Through our ecstasy, yes. through our community, through our sisterhood, through our evolution, yes, and contemplate some of the key themes. So this is kind of taking me on to the themes of the Living Shakti Awake program. And again, I'm going to be doing lives, just so you know, every day until the 12th, talking about the different themes that are going to be part of the program. Let me just see if I've missed anything out. No. Well, maybe. So I've been teaching and focusing on the tantric part, the sexual and spiritual awakening part for about 10 years, the embodied awareness part for 18 years, right? So I've been doing this for a long time. And where I got to at the end of last year, having taught for so long and having run year groups, the Awakening Shakti program for 3 years, the Rapture program, the Juicy Woman program, the Tantric Meditation, you know, all kinds of different programs based around ecstatic awakening, sexual and spiritual awakening. My book, Rapture, right? I got to the end of the last year and I was like, I need to, and I want to, and I'm called to up level and bring through this new body of work, which takes it a level deeper and higher and more practical into life. And I want to be working with women now who've done those fundamentals, who are already in that track, who already understand the fundamental principles of Tantra and yoga and sexual and spiritual awakening. I don't want to be teaching anymore from next year, from this year, 2022, from the ground up. You know, it's time to move on. It's time for me to move on. So the Living Shakti Awake program is launched today, and I just want to tell you a little bit about it because it's exciting. There's 2 parts to it. So one is a sister circle. It's called the Evolutionary Sister Circle because we're here to evolve together. There's nothing as powerful as when a group of women come together and practice together. Yep, tantric practice, meditation, channeling, transmission, and sharing and support. There's nothing more powerful than that. We can do things solo. When we're in a group, it's always amplified. So there's the Evolutionary Sister Circle, and that is starting on the 12th of January. The second part of this program is a series of workshops, 9 themes, just like the Awakening Shakti program had, but they are deeper and wider and higher. 9 key themes, which I'm going to be sharing live about each day, 1 theme per day over the coming weeks until the 12th. So you'll get to hear more about those themes, and they're all super juicy and super exciting. But the primary thrust of those themes is bringing Tantra to life, to the nitty-gritty of your sex life, your relationships, your finances, manifestation, co-creation, leadership, facilitation, so that you are basically, my intention with this is to support you to show up in the world, to step up in the world, empowered, sovereign, mastering your energy, and always in integrity, always in alignment, and continually evolving. So it's this iterative process where whatever's going on in your life is fuel for growth. Nothing is left out. So if you're feeling shit and pissed off, that's where we start. We're not going to come into our meetings pretending that everything's hunky-dory and we're feeling great and put on a fake smile, right? That's not what it's about. We're coming with the realness, with the authenticity, and recognizing that exactly how we feel, exactly what's going on, is the perfect gift for our soul's growth, for our awakening in that moment. And Tantra is about embracing that, and I can show you all the tools for how to work with that. That's my expertise, bringing Tantra to life. Okay, so you have these 2 choices. You can do either or. You can do the Evolutionary Sister Circle. You can take the Living Shakti Awake workshop series, or you can do both. They're designed to be complementary but exclusive, so you don't have to do both. You can choose one or the other, or you can choose both. In the Evolutionary Sister Circle, we go deep together as a closed group. In the workshops, you get to process these key themes. All of it is designed this year to run in 3-month semesters, because what I found personally, having run the Awakening Shakti program 3 years in a row now, it's like a 9-month deep dive program, I got pretty exhausted by the end of it, because I give a lot to my groups. I give my everything actually to my groups. And so I've built in this time 3-month semesters with a month break in between. So 3 months a break, 3 months a break, 3 months a break. And you can enroll either by the semester or for the whole year, but you can't enroll piecemeal one by one. That makes it easier for me because I don't like to handle all the admin of constant enrollments, and I can really focus my energy on being there to serve the group that I'm working with, which is what I love to do. I love to go deep. I love to give my all. I love to really, hang out in the deep field of transformation and awareness. What would I say about that as well? Yeah, I guess, obviously my own experience and understanding of Tantra keeps on evolving and growing and maturing with me. And, it's gone from, I started out teaching conscious dance 18 years ago. That's how I started my journey. So embodiment is second nature to me. It's my absolute passion. Anything to do with conscious embodiment, I love, I shine at. I'm brilliant at teaching that stuff. That's how I started my tantric journey, through conscious embodiment and through very much this desire to marry sexuality with spirituality, because I love my sexuality and I love sex, right? But I was having relationship issues and I wanted to figure that out. That's how I got started. As I've progressed through many years of teaching, through ongoing practice, I don't ever teach anything I'm not doing or haven't done myself. It's refined, it's become more subtle, it's become deeper, it's become more expanded, to the point where the sexual practices themselves are wonderful and they're not my everything. I can get ecstatic these days sitting in stillness and meditating. There is, incredible orgasmic inner bliss for me in stillness meditation, in darkness meditation, which is just as tantric as, powerful chakra breathing or flowing my sexual energy through the sushumna. All of these things, they're still available, but my expanse of understanding and embodiment is far deeper and wider now. And I work with a couple of guides myself and have been channeling and transmitting more as well, which is another flavor of my work, bringing through, because now more and more through my deep meditation, I'm able to sit in the unknown. And that's actually one of the themes for the Living Shakti Awake workshop series. The final theme actually is stepping into the unknown. And when we step into that sphere of the unknown, then we're open. We become vessels for energy, for transmissions, for the goddess to speak through us, to sing through us, to dance through us, to transmit through us. And so that is something that's also growing within me more and more. When I'm holding space, when I'm holding group or one-to-one space, to really just open up and step into the unknown and become a channel, become a vessel for her. And I love being in that space, and that's something I want to encourage in you more and more. So I think that's all I want to share. So just to let you know that every morning, 10 o'clock, I'm going to be going live into this group, the Living Shakti Awake Facebook group, talking about each part of the program in greater detail. And, those talks will be a little bit of a transmission, like today has been, on that theme. And if you're wanting to know more about the program and ask me some questions, if you want to have an experience of being in an Evolutionary Sisters circle and, you know, just getting a taste of what that would be like, you know, and if you're genuinely called to find out more and be a part of this journey, then this Wednesday, which is the 5th of January, I'm hosting a circle and an introductory session for any woman who wants to come and be together with other women, be together with me, be guided in practice and meditation, have an opportunity to really experience that field of energy and to ask me any questions about the program. So you're warmly welcome. It's free, there's no cost, there's no obligation. Come and join and have that experience. The link to that will be in the group. And yep, the link to that is in the group as an event. And for those of you who watch this back on YouTube, you can access the link via the web page for the Living Shakti Awake program. And I think that's it. So I'm so happy and thrilled to be able to finally share this with you. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And life has taken me on all kinds of twists and turns, with my kids having COVID, my dad going into a care home, and it's all, you know, and I've just had to flow with it. And then my own energy went really down. I just did not have the energy to even think about it. And then, yep, hey presto, with this Capricorn New Moon today on the 2nd of January, it's all come together. It's all flowed perfectly. And I'm, you know, delighted to share this with you today. Feel free to pop any questions below. I will respond. I'm happy to hear from you. I'd love you to interact more. And thank you. Many blessings on your day, on your week, on your month, on your year. Ladies, this is going to be a really potent year for our growth and transformation. So even if you're not going to join the program, I want to be here for you as much as I can be. Support one another, love one another. We're here for this. You're amazing. Lots of love. And namaste.